The resolution comes at now therefore be it resolved. The whereases are preliminary, and we can put a different whereas in there if that would make it more reasonable. Isn't that correct, Mr. Attorney?
Yes.
I also have a question about number 1, that the code enforcement will identify the vacant properties as uninhabitable. Can we do that without seeing the inside of the homes?
They're uninhabitable because Mr. Flores does not have
A
a
license,
license
okay.
to rent them. We're not, this resolution doesn't declare them to be uninhabitable because of the condition of the property. It's uninhabitable because Mr. Flores does not have a license to rent property.
But that's not stated here, is it?
No. But that's the reason they're uninhabitable.
I think we would want to be specific as to why they're uninhabitable, whether it's...
Well, we're not saying, yeah, I mean, you could put in there and add in there, they're uninhabitable due to Mr. Flores not having a license to rent property in the city of Kennett.
I just feel that if we are making these statements and taking these actions, we need to be very specific as to why, so there's no misinterpretation or a misunderstanding of why. That it has to do with not meeting the licensing standards of the city.
I was not a part of the last meeting. I was out of town, but it looks to me as though there should be some way that he can, of course, he has to have a license first, but if he could bring the property back to code, I don't see any reason why he couldn't be able to rent that property again. But there again, he has to have a license first, and then it has to come up to code.
Now, the problem with that is that he's not eligible to get a license
Okay.
for 6 months after he's denied. So,
6 months.
6 months.
Yes. So even if he applied for a license and he obtained those licenses in 6 months, he still wouldn't be able to.
he's not eligible. I mean, obtained him after 6 months from the denial of his existing license. Now, that doesn't answer the question is if a new owner were to come in and apply. Because every property is its own license.
Right.
And if a new owner of the property applied for a license, if that would be eligible for an inspection and to receive a license. I don't know that that's addressed here.
I just want to make sure I understand this, and I'm sure there's people out there that want to be able to understand it as well. So this resolution is more that Eddie Flores does not have a license and will not be able to obtain a license on these properties.
That's correct.
Okay. So that doesn't mean that these properties, if they're sold to a different owner, that they couldn't be brought up to code and then.
Well, and the way it reads now is it can never be brought up to code, or never be.
Right, that's the way I'm reading it. It can never be used again, no matter if it's sold or not.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, there are two things in there. One is up under item number 1, in answers to Ms. Dry's question, we could say code enforcement will identify all of Eddie Flores' vacant properties as uninhabitable because, and we could put down the answer because he doesn't have a license. We could say that in there. And then under number 3, we could say where it says until the utilities will not be reconnected for any reason for this owner because he doesn't have a license. But I think what you're saying is you could sell it to somebody else, and if they got it inspected and got a license, then they could get it reconnected. Is that what we're saying?
I think so. I mean, that's not what it says, but that's
No,
what
but
it
we
is.
could add
There's
it.
got to be a way that you don't kill the property.
Yes, that's the way I feel.
And that it's not dead for the way this leads forever.
Because the way this reads, to me, it had to be torn down. And I know there's houses out there that could
Well,
be brought back.
yeah. But I think there's got to be a way that if there was a new owner, that they could apply for a license.
But, yes, but it would have to be sold to a person who was eligible to get a license. As you just read the memo for records that said that Mr. Flores can't get a license because he appealed that to the
Right.
board and that was denied.
Right.
Can't, so he can't do it.
He can't do it, but a new owner could.
So would a person be denied a license forever if they brought their property up to code?
No.
But this particular person you're saying is denied forever, even if they bring their property up to
That's not
code?
that's not what it says.
Okay.
So we need to change the language on this resolution
Yes.
and bring this back.
Yes, we could change it and bring it back on the 19th to rewrite, and that way we've got it exactly in writing. We don't have to try to scribble it in here.
Sure.
And-
Okay.
Do we need to look at number 4.4 as well? It says, it'll be disconnected and placed as uninhabitable, and that's another kind of open-ended statement. So we need some specificity on that too, until something else happens. But because I'm thinking about, if we've got 100 houses, they're going to all be deemed uninhabitable. What happens to them at the end of 60 days? They just sit there?
That's why we're going the language needs to be changed.
So
How do we want to change 4 then?
I think we can change 4 to make it more consistent with 1.
Wow.
To make it consistent somehow with that the property's not dead.
just
Until it's somehow manageable
Uninhabitable.
by a
Well, I mean, it's
licensed.
not eligible to, for a license until it has been inspected, until it is up.
Well, have sold and then inspected to a new owner. Because you can't do it with the current owner.
Right, but he would, but the current owner isn't eligible to get a license for 6 months.
So it has to be sold, you have to have a new owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Just until it's green tagged, and it would have to have gone through all the steps that code enforcement is applying.
Yes,
that's correct.
yes.
So then you could do away with shifting owners doing all that, because they're not gonna green tag it under Mr. Flores' current ownership.
No.
Right.
And
So-
that's the language that they're changing this resolution to, so that it's clear for everybody to understand that,
You would eliminate all the hoops you're having to jump through if you would say, if it's green tagged.
that's correct.
Even for Mr. Flores? Or he
But
can
it's
never?
six-
It's 6 months and a day, if he gets
He
it
can't
fixed,
do anything
then
for 6
he can-
months.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
okay, we will rewrite this and then I'll make sure that everybody gets a chance to look at it before we bring it back, just to make sure we said what you said here, and then we'll bring it back on the 19th rewritten.
Sure. All right.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Lost my place here. Yeah, thank you. Comments from the council?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get that, sorry.
I know that problem.
You have in front of you, it's a ethics ordinance, conflict of interest ordinance, and it's something that has to be passed by the city every other year. We try to pass one every year, just so we don't miss that 2-year window. and we did pass one last year, but this is the one for this year. And what we would do is, and this is something passed ever since that state requirement has been in place, which is in the 90s. So we'll do a first reading tonight, vote to approve the first reading, and then at the next meeting, final reading, the second reading will be done, and we'll vote on the ordinance itself. So the first reading is an ordinance of the city of Kennett, Missouri, to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials. And those certain officials are the city administrator, the mayor, and I believe city clerk. Otherwise, if we don't pass this, all of you have to do it. You don't want to do that.
Mr. Mayor, make that motion for the first reading. I'll make the motion to approve the first reading.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Now, we're not going to do the second reading
We have a
until the
second
next
reading. I'll make sure you do that sometime.
Okay, good.
This way we satisfy another requirement to, unless there's exigent circumstances, that we discuss an ordinance at one meeting before it's passed in the second meeting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for keeping me straight. Okay.
And what, just to clarify the difference, is resolutions can be passed at one meeting because they're
Yes.
temporary.
Yes.
Right.
Any other comments from the council?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to mention, Mr. Rasmussen mentioned our comprehensive plan earlier this evening. And some of you may have seen that the deadline for applying to be on the steering committee for the plan was July 31st. We received submissions from a lot of great people who want to help make Kennett a better place. The industrial committee met earlier tonight for an initial review of the applications. And so before the end of the week, I believe we'll be able to notify people who applied to be on the steering committee of their acceptance. And the Boot Hill Regional Planning Commission, who's going to facilitate this, will get a meeting scheduled very soon, probably within the next 2 weeks. We plan to meet at another location instead of City Hall. And I'm just really excited because there are a lot of people with great skills in Kennett who have an interest in making this a better place. Some of the people have lived here all their lives, other people have been away and come back, and it's just a good representation of all ages, all kinds of backgrounds of people who want to help make the city better. So I just want to thank everyone who applied and taking the time to help make this happen. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
We hadn't voted on first reading of the ordinance, did we? No. No, we need a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance. We have a motion. Second.
We did the motion.
We had a motion,
Okay,
and
we
we
have a
have a
motion.
motion and a second on the floor.
We did.
Huh? We did?
Yes.
We voted.
Yeah.
Okay.
We voted, yeah.
Oh,
Did they-
I wrote passed, so I guess so.
Okay.
Was that a roll call? No.
I said aye anyway.
Everybody said aye.
And all the people said.
Any other comments from the council? I thank everybody for coming tonight. This meeting is adjourned.